So is a rookie head coach Mitch Johnson, is he under fire, under pressure to guide this Spurs team to the postseason?
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs. I'm Jeff Garcia, your Spurs Locked On Spurs host right here from Ken's 5 San Antonio. Yes, I am a Spurs writer out there. And as always, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. If you're available where we get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Ken's 5 Plus, have YouTube. You know where to go. Go do that right now. And what is that? Subscribe. So yes, please subscribe. Let's get those numbers sky high. Hey, as always, again, I always say this, we appreciate the subscriptions, but they're getting higher and higher, and I love it. Also, too, because we're going to be going back to 5 a week starting next week. Yeah, you'll be getting them on the daily now, starting on Monday. So that's where you got to subscribe ASAP. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is closer than you think. Hey, it's already started. New customers can bet $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets. Download the FanDuel app and go to FanDuel.com to get started. What are we talking about today? Mitch Johnson. Now, I know. The last show, what are we talking about? Is Wemby under pressure to guide the Spurs to the postseason? But we left off the new coach. We didn't even bring him up at all. And I felt it's, we got to be fair, right? We say maybe it's not totally on Wemby. Well, is the fire on a head coach, a rookie head coach? We all know how the NBA operates, right? Yeah, a coach messes up, or at least perceived to mess up, and really maybe the players mess up. Who gets the blame? It's the head coach. So likely or unlikely that Mitch is under that situation, but nevertheless, should Mitch Johnson be under fire? Should he be under pressure to guide this Spurs team, break the playoff drought, and see the Spurs have games beyond an 82-game regular season slate? To discuss that, let's go to bring in our guest. He is back, everybody. He is Mr. Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. He deserves a round of applause for his.
Oh, wow. It's been forever since I've been on. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, how about this? You get an extra round of applause. And you'll get your walk-in music. How's that?
I've always admired you for giving me the walk-up music. I know you've got a ton of great guests on Locked On Spurs. Friend of the show and soon-to-be friend of the show of Sweep the League, Casey Vieira. I'm going to say that I've got one up on you when it comes to being my Locked On guest, because I get the walk-on music.
He gets the walk-on music, and you got double applause. How about that? Yeah. All right. Once again, he is Rudy Campos. Make sure to follow him on X at Sweep the League, and he's going to brag about his new and improved show in just a few minutes. Rudy's going to dive into it. Now, you heard of the intro. The last episode of Locked On Spurs, it was with Casey Vieira, and we kind of talked about Wemby. He's the franchise guy. It's him. It's a time for him to be that guy and lead the team to the postseason. But we had a day off or Locked On, and I'll come back here on Friday. And I was thinking about that during the day break. I was like, it's not really fair. I think if you're going to look beyond Wemby, maybe start looking at that head coaching spot and Mitch Johnson. So let's start right there. He's a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
He has experience, first seat with Pop, G League experience. He was the one-on-one player development trainee guy for Wemby. He was thrusted into the position last year. Nobody saw that coming, but for all intents and purposes, he did okay. He wasn't great, but he did all right, all things considered. But now he's the man. He is the big cheese now. He is the official head coach. No more interim label. Rudy, how much pressure do you think he has on his shoulders right now to guide this team and deliver a postseason berth? Not a play-in berth, a postseason berth.
I think probably Spurs fans have a really big pressure when it comes to Mitch Johnson making the postseason. Honestly, I don't think he's got that much pressure. I think the pressure is more on the fact that this Spurs team gets into the play-in spot, which all due intents and purposes, I've actually got him as a postseason team on my latest rankings, on my latest list. But I think it's more of them getting into that, play-in tournament, get them ready to possibly join the playoff contention for everybody in the Western Conference. The thing is, Jeff, is it safe to say that there's more pressure put on him to get to 500 than it is to maybe get into the postseason? Because if you're looking at a team getting into 500, I mean, that's a win in itself. But if you look at the team on paper, this is a way better than 500 team. I mean, from top to bottom, this team is stacked.
Right.
You can easily go 10 deep on this team right now. So the pressure is there for him. I just think it's year one with Mitch's offseason. His training camp is going to be the first time he's going to have his own training camp. He's going to be able to install his own plays, get everything under his own tutelage. I think the pressure's there, but it's not as big as people are going to make it seem. I think more Spurs fans expect a playoff appearance, but don't be sad if it's just a play-in postseason. If it's a play-in appearance of anything.
All right, fine. We'll get to the opposite side in a bit, but sticking on your theme here about no, he's not under pressure.
Yeah.
How about this? What if he doesn't guide the team to the postseason, but a play-in berth? Would you consider that a success for a rookie head coach? A play-in, knowing you just said right now the team is deep. You said the team's deep.
Yeah, I think for a play-in experience, that's a hell of an accomplishment for Mitch Johnson this season. Okay. Considering the Spurs haven't been in the play-in since, what was it, the bubble? I think the last time they were actually.
Oh, maybe before that. I think right before that.
Right before that. So, I mean, yeah, the success hasn't really been there. And now what you did was you go into the offseason, you basically filled every single void that you needed to fill. You beefed up the front court. You were able to get another potential superstar. You got a lockdown defender in the draft in Carter Bryant. You've got so much depth at each position that, I mean, there really is no excuse not to make at least the play-in spot. We've seen teams in the West that have kind of come down off of the high horse. You know, they're teams that are, Kevin Durant's in Houston, so we know Phoenix won't be a issue. Golden State is getting older as we speak, year by year. So those teams that have had success are probably coming down a little bit as the Spurs are rising. 10 players deep, Jeff. I think a play-in spot is the perfect season right now for the Spurs. If you're looking at it preseason, like your preseason rankings, I would say play-in would be the absolute perfect scenario. Yeah. Playoff would be big time. But I think they're a playoff team.
Yeah. Okay, so you're making it clear they're a playoff team. All right, that's cool. And you're right. I think they are going to be a playoff team when it's all said and done. How they get it doesn't matter. If it's a solid 6th seed, 5th seed, great. If it's through the play-in to get a 7th or 8th seed, then great. But yeah, that should be the goal postseason. No matter how you get there, Spurs, get there. Also, too, I think if you're looking at it from the lens of no pressure on Mitch Johnson, is that the training wheels are off. So just as much as we give a player like Wemby, he's just a rookie, give him time to get a feel for things. Last season, as much as he was the interim head coach, he still had Popovich in his ear. He openly admitted it. And you heard it. I think all Spurs fans heard it in his post-game talks. He goes, I still got Pop. He chews me out and everything. And that was pretty much for the entire season. So those training wheels are off now. Hopefully. We don't know. Maybe he'll slip out. That Pop is still chirping at him. But I hope not, because this should be his team, his way. And you can start seeing that already. Look at the coaching changes we've seen so far. Sweeney, Williamson. Yeah. Look at the beefed up roster. And they got speaking of the coaching staff, they got younger, Sweeney, Corliss Williamson, and whatnot. Brett Brown is gone. He's taken a front office position now. So that old backup training wheels are off. So yeah, he's gonna sputter. He's probably gonna make some stupid mistakes. We saw it last year. That was with Pop in his ear. Well, he'll probably do some this upcoming season without Pop in his ear. So you could maybe give him a little slack, and maybe to your point, there's not that much pressure. But I disagree with you, Rudy. I think there is pressure for him to deliver. Let's talk about that when we get back right here on Locked On Spurs with Mr. Rudy Campos. He's with Sweep the League. And on X at Sweep the League, I am on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Hey, but first I want to talk about FanDuel. NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can get themselves just, how about this? If you bet $5 and that bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets across the app. That's a great deal there. You'll love using FanDuel because however you like to bet, player props, building a same game parlay, jumping into live action as it unfolds, you can do it all on FanDuel. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, easy, and the best way to add a little more energy to your Sundays. Right now, are you ready to play? I know you are. So download the FanDuel app by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Hey, look who's back, everybody. Mr. Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. Make sure to follow him on X at Sweep the League. He's talking about his new and improved show, including a new logo, new color scheme. He has it all. So he'll brag about that in just a few minutes. We're talking about Mitch Johnson and why his name is coming up on this episode, because the last episode we had with Casey Vieira, we put the hot seat, turned it on, and we put a Wemby on it. We're putting Mitch Johnson on it now. And yes, we get it. We established in the first segment that he is a rookie head coach. We said that, yeah, he's probably going to do some hiccups. Rudy said that, no, there's not a lot of pressure on him to perform. I'm going to tell you right now, Rudy and everybody else, there is pressure for him to lead this team to the postseason. And I start off with the fact that he is just the freaking head coach of this team. You are the guy. You are the man. The buck stops with you when it comes to on-court play, and they win and they lose. You have to make the right call. If the right call is made, if the right changes are made, the rotations are made, it's all on him. Yes, he is a head coach. Yes, he should. And he should embrace that pressure that's going to hit him in just a few, about a month and a half-ish. Also, too, again, this team has missed the playoffs for how long again? I mean, it's been a while. I think, 25 maybe? Well, they're in 2025 last year. So it's been a while. I think about 6-7 years. The point is, yeah, you got to snap that playoff drought. There was no excuse for you to not snap that playoff drought because really, you hit it on the head. This is a beefed up roster. Yeah. 100% healthy Victor Wembanyama, who reportedly is tearing up a court in offseason runs. De'Aaron Fox, back from injury. He's ready to go. All right. You got yourself a cool rookie, number 2 overall pick, Dylan Harper. You got Stephon Castle, who looks like he's really focusing on his three shot, his outside shot, so much more. Also, too, I think there's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of urgency to get this team at least into the postseason now, not not on Mitch's timeline. Like, well, give him a chance. Just put him on that timeline. Whenever he's ready, he'll make the leap. No, their urgency is now. You got the specter of Project Marvel. You have the specter of another 82-game season and over. You don't want that to happen. You know, the specter of Wemby, kind of like another lost season, another season. I see Chet Holmgren making the postseason, winning a title. I see other contemporaries having success, and I'm here. So I think there's that as well. You put that all together, and there's no excuse for him to fail. Now, fine. If he makes a play in and maybe misses it, okay, fine. That is progress. That is a step in the right direction. But you got to have a postseason berth. You have to have it. Now, I get your thoughts on this. Mitch has been very open about this, about patience. Oh, player patience. Let them go. We're not going to rush them. We're not going to fast track. We're not going to skip steps. He's echoed that so many times. But Rudy, is Mitch Johnson, the coach, allowed to skip steps? Can he just make radical changes to that roster? To the starting unit if need be? Because if everybody's saying, oh, Devin should start and Sochan should start, what if one day he says, you know what? Screw that. Devin, you're coming off the bench. I'm going to skip a step. I'm going to put the starting unit in a better spot moving forward. Do you think he's going to be allowed to take risk, take some chances, make some strategic moves that maybe might scratch your head, but then and there you're like, oh, it worked?
If he wants to remain head coach, whether it be with the Spurs or in the NBA, he's just going to have to make it happen. He's going to have to be able to understand, you know what, Devin, if I need you to come off as a reserve, you're going to come off as a reserve. It's for the best part of the team. And I think he's going to be able to do that. I really do. I think he's going to have control of the situation. As much as we think Mitch Johnson is a player's coach, which I really believe he truly is a player's coach.
Yeah, he is.
You've got to remember one thing is that all the additions that they've made as far as player personnel goes, they rank on my list and other lists, other media guys' lists around, the country that cover the NBA. Their coaching staff ranks in the top part of the NBA.
Oh, for
They're
sure.
higher.
Yeah.
Sean Sweeney, Corliss Williamson, and Scott King coming up from the Austin
Good
G
point.
League team.
Good point.
I mean, he's had success in Austin. Corliss Williamson brings that toughness that you want on the bench. Sean Sweeney, magnificent defensive guru. Let's not forget, one of the guys that was mentioned between you and I on a Locked On a while back was Rashard Lewis. He joined the Spurs as a player developmental player as well. So the staff itself under Mitch Johnson is going to allow him to be successful. It's going to allow him to get this team prepared. Now, again, you've got to taper expectations. This is not a championship team. Let's be 100% honest. It is a scratch of the playoffs right now type of team. It's at least a play-in team. But again, if they're in that 10th, 11th spot, Jeff, and it's taken 45 wins, 46 wins to maybe get into that play-in spot, and they're right there at 44, 45, is that truly a terrible season? I don't think so compared to what we've seen so far. To me, that's not a terrible season at all. That's really big progress right there.
I'm going to tell you right now, if it's a play-in and done, I think he's going to get some backlash. If it's a play-in and done.
Is he going to get backlash from fans, or is he going to get backlash from the front office? Because if
front
it's
office,
fans,
probably not. No.
I'm saying if it's the fans, and no disrespect to Locked On fans, but if it's the fans, no big deal. I mean, you're going to get
Rudy
backlash from fans no matter what.
Piss off fans again and leave those comments on it like they always connect you.
I totally get the understanding. Oh God, another season. But you know what fans say right now? It's another losing season. But if they're above 500. Is that losing? That's not losing. Above 500 is a winning season.
I don't think it's a matter of the record. I think it's a matter of another missed postseason. They could be 47 and whatever, and make the play in. I'm just being silly here now and miss the playoffs. What if they're one and done? What if they play that bracket where it's just one win in advance or one win and lose and they lose? I mean, technically, to your point though, it would be a stepping stone to a rebuild.
It'd be a massive
you gotta take your lumps. Every team has to take their lumps. But I think
you have to learn to crawl before you can learn to walk.
But that's the thing.
Teams are already walking.
That's fine. And they're walking, but they got on some brand new Jordans of healthy Wemby. They got themselves a nice headband to collect that sweat. Healthy De'Aaron Fox. Yeah. They got some new, step counters. That's Dylan Harper, and then you got Cousins. So yeah, they may be walking, but they got a lot of equipment to help them walk. So
take for granted this: it took 39 wins to get the 10th seed and into the play-in spot last year. Spurs finished the year with 34 wins. Now, it took 49 wins to get into the playoffs outright. Can they get 15 more wins with the current team as assembled? That is the biggest question. That's why I have them as play-in at best, because 39 and 40 wins, that's pretty achievable in my opinion. That's a no-brainer. I mean, I think I've got them at around the 44-45 win right now.
And Vegas agrees with you. Yeah, Vegas agrees with you.
Vegas says that because Vegas takes my word on everything.
Here we go.
But remember, the Memphis Grizzlies, they were a 48-win team. They don't have Desmond Bane. Here they come down the elevator shaft. The Sacramento Kings, not the same team. They're going to be coming back down. Dallas Mavericks are going to be going on up. Clipperland is having a little bit of trouble right now, so they may be coming back down. The LA Lakers. No one knows if LeBron wants to stay a Laker the entire season. So they could be experiencing problems. This is all beneficial for the San Antonio Spurs. And that's why I said minimum, play in for me right now. Could I see them as a playoff team? I think they got to get to that 48, 49 win mark to get into the playoffs. Is it doable? I think a healthy Spurs team could possibly do it, but I'm satisfied with the play in right now. That's what I was going to about that.
I won't be satisfied with a play-in and done. No, I think this team is strong enough to make the postseason. And as much as, yes, if they miss it, you got to look at Wemby. If that is your guy, and that is your man, and they come up short, then what did he do on that court? Mitch can't be on that court, but Mitch can't guides the whole unit, the whole team. So I think ultimately, in my opinion, if they miss the postseason and a play-in and that's it, or miss it all together, then I think it's going to be a lot of focus on Mitch Johnson. All right, there you have it. Our thoughts about Mitch Johnson, whether he's under fire this upcoming season as a rookie head coach to guide this team into the playoffs. Rudy says no, play-in is good enough for him. I say no, they got to go beyond that because of the team they assembled and the experience that he comes in with. And Rudy, you mentioned it for me. You pretty much held up my argument. He has a damn good head coaching staff with him. Yeah. Damn good one. That should help him guide this team into the postseason. But we got to hear from you. What do you think? Rudy, like what he thinks? Probably not, right? Well, let him know on X at Sweep the League. You let me know what you think about my thoughts on X, as well as Jeff G Spurs Zone. When we get back, some fan comments. And speaking of the Clippers, yeah, what happened there? I'll talk about that in just a few seconds. And we're back right here, Locked On Spurs, joined by Mr. Rudy Campos. He's with Sweep the League. Give him a follow right now on X at Sweep the League and on TikTok at Sweep the League TV. So two bites of the apple to get at Rudy and his crew. All right, Rudy, before we get some fan comments here, your thoughts on that whole Ballmer, Clipper, Kawhi Leonard, aspiration, fake tree company, and how allegedly they use that tree planting corporation aspiration to pretty much give Kawhi a little extra cash and as a way to go above and beyond the salary cap. Now, to be clear before we chime in here, this is just allegations. This is a report via Pablo Torre on The Athletic. The Clippers did respond and ultimately, in a nutshell, said no, it's not true. We can defend ourselves. The Ballmer did not take this path. They respect the NBA and the rules and not trying to circumvent the NBA salary cap rules. So there you go, full disclosure right there. But in your opinion, Rudy, how do you see this going down ultimately?
Well, again, you're innocent until proven guilty. And right now, with everything that Pablo Torre was talking about, there seems to be a lot of great sticking points and a lot of great evidence, I guess you can say, pointing towards the Clippers being in some massive trouble. And again, without everything coming out right now, we did talk about it on Sweeps a couple of nights ago. And my sticking point is this: if it all comes out, and again, this is a company that's going to be looked at government-wise. I think the feds are going to look into it because this is a company that did go under, basically, and they owe a lot of money to certain people and just was a shady type of company. So, of course, if the government gets involved, everybody gets involved in it. If it does come out that Ballmer was doing something shady, obviously Kawhi knows about it because you're not going to collect a paycheck without knowing about it.
Right, because he's the CEO of that KL2 LLC. Yeah, exactly.
So if everything comes out and it's in the negative side to where the Clippers are at fault, Ballmer's at fault, Kawhi is about fault, I go with the Sweep the League Network fans. They all say Ballmer needs to be removed, sold the team, and they're calling for Kawhi to be banned for life from the NBA. Now, go ahead. I don't think Adam Silver does that because, again, the NBA is about money, and he knows Kawhi, even though he plays 30 games a year, he knows in those 30 games he's going to make a whole lot of money because Kawhi plays. But ultimately, I think a year-long suspension possibly is right there. Could he be banned? I don't know. I mean, they are paying guys for gambling and all that other stuff. So this falls under the whole government and federal thing. It's until it all comes out, Jeff, it's really hard to dictate on what's going on, what's going to happen.
Yeah. My opinion on this is that it definitely is salacious. It's definitely a lot of drama. The Clippers did come out in front, but at least Torre, he's saying that, bring it, because he has 3,000 plus documents.
3,000 pages
of of documents to back up his statement, and plus 7 sources within Aspiration. I don't think
Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Homer. That
I think that's just a businessman looking for another businessman. And Cuban did make some good points.
He
did. Because that would be some sloppy work if you're trying to hide that extra 28 mil.
Yeah.
Because you're giving it to a company called KL2. Doesn't take a genius to figure out who that is about. Yeah. And but I do remember when Kawhi ultimately signed with the Clippers. I was like, the Clippers? What? That was kind of out of left field. Everybody was really thinking Raptors and Lakers. I think that was ultimately the 2 teams.
Yeah.
And then when the Clippers came in, it was like, what? So I can understand that. And I think Spurs fans, we all know Kawhi and Uncle Dennis are about that cash.
Yeah.
And remember that report that came out from the Lakers that GD Buss said that Uncle Dennis wanted some ridiculous stuff, just like stuff that would just break every rule in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like private planes and this and that. So that seems their vibe. But you think you're just going to have to see this play out. What will really send a red flag for me, Rudy, is if Kawhi just retires out of nowhere. Just, I'm done. What's that about?
I think the likelihood of that happening is very, very likely. Again, when you've got, the government kind of looking into things now, it means that they are getting close to something and they may have seen something that's kind of pointing in that direction. I'm going to ask this because I would love Locked On Network and fans to maybe give you an answer on this, but does Kawhi Leonard retire before the season starts? Because if this gets proven, something's got to happen. So
I'm gonna say yes.
If it gets that hot,
it gets that hot. Yeah, but it'll be quick because like the season. Well, I guess not, okay. Well, maybe the regular season it's still like October, but so there's time. But training camp preseason starts late next month. So, whoo. Man, Spurs fans are like this right now, like that Nelson character from The Simpsons, like looking at Clippers.
It's definitely must see TV right now.
It definitely is. Hey, it's the Los Angeles, right? They're all about the drama, so there you go. All right. Unfortunately, we don't have time for 2 comments. We'll get one. Okay. So here we go. Let me pick up. All right. So the one comment we'll pick today is from Safe Space Invader. He says the X factor for me is Sochan. When he is on an island, when it comes to a power forward position, we just don't have options there. Where we have guards all over the place, but we only have Sochan and Kelly at power forward? ? So Sochan needs to create his role on the team, hopefully in the starting lineup. So Safe Space Invader is saying the X factor for the team is Sochan, and he needs to be in that starting lineup. I mean, he's reacting to the show that we did recently where we asked if Devin Vassell was his X factor because of what Matt Bonner had to say. But Safe Space Invader say that no, we'll take it piece by piece here. Do you agree with them that X factor is Sochan, not Devin Vassell?
No, I don't agree with that. Devin Vassell is an X factor, but again, I've been on the team of Devin Vassell coming off the bench with Keldon Johnson as a reserve. And again, no, it's never a disrespect to Devin, but I think he adds a huge dynamic and a huge contribution as a reserve guy. Again, you've got a former guy that's a starter. You saw what Keldon did coming off in the 6-man role. He excelled in it. Having Devin do the exact same thing, man, you're talking, he could easily put that 17, 18 points per game right there coming off the bench. But no, X factor for me is not Jeremy Sochan. It's going to be Devin Vassell to answer that first part of the question.
Well, there you have it, right? So he has Devin Vassell, not Sochan. I still have Vassell for me as the X factor for the team. Why? Actually, let me rephrase it. I have the X factor, and it's not a cheat way, is Wemby. But if I'm picking between Vassell and Sochan right now, I'm picking Vassell. Why is it extra? If he's okay coming off that bench, that would be a huge X factor for the team. All right, then we'll take off that little extra piece of the comment here. So he's saying Sochan should be hopefully be the starting unit. Do you agree with that? That Sochan needs to be in the starting unit?
I hate to disagree with everything that he's saying, but
you disagree with the fans here on Locked On Spurs?
Jeremy, he brings a certain style of play to the Spurs. It's just not starting five style of play. He's a utility guy. He can do a little bit of everything. And I think a utility type player definitely is a guy that's a reserve player. Again, could be the first off the bench, could be the second, third, doesn't matter. But I really feel as the utility type player that he is, who can do sprinkle a little bit of here and there everywhere, definitely needs to be coming off the bench. And again, I don't mind him starting from time to time to maybe spell a couple of guys, give a couple of guys a day off or something, but definitely needs to be coming off the bench for me.
I have him in the starting unit. I think he'll feed off the other players, the makeup of the starting five, from Wemby to Castle to Fox. I think he's exactly that thing. I think I need a guy that's starting to do the dirty work. So I guess I got Sochan there. All right, good comment there. Safe space invader. Hey, Rudy, little birdie told me that Sweep the League is looking pretty brand new and fresh, huh?
Yeah, we ended up doing the rebrand pretty soon. If y'all hadn't seen it, you can go to X at Sweep the League. You can see the rebrand. Show's got a whole new background when we go live now. We've added more shows to the roster, to the network. We got a whole new logo as well. It's everything. Everything's rebranded. The best thing to do is go to Sweep the League TV on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button so you're not left out on all the network, all the shows that are coming out. It's a lot. It's a lot. And we've actually got more announcements coming out. So
nice.
At Sweep the League on X, Sweep the League TV on TikTok. But the best part to go is YouTube, Sweep the League TV. Hit the subscribe button so that way you are not left out in the cold.
See, everybody? See, you know what that deserves? An applause.
I better not, a text message from Casey saying, why does Rudy get all the love? I'm hoping that.
You know what? You can ask him that when he's on your show. I think you're all going to try to connect with him for Sweep, right?
Oh yeah. We've. I'm gonna enter Raider Nation. So
yeah. By the way, for y'all don't know, a friend of the show, Casey Vieira, he is now a Raiders show host. Not on the Locked On Network. It's a different network.
Yeah.
But I was surprised when he told me he was a Raiders fan. For the longest time, I thought he was a Giants fan. He just stuck in my head, and I associated because he grew up in the New York area. And no, he was like, no, he goes, I don't know where you got that. I'm a Raiders fan. So it was like when you told me you're a Falcons fan, I was like, huh? What?
Wow. Yeah. I've claimed the fame on the Falcons side, but it goes down to deep San Antonio roots on that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. Follow Rudy on X at Sweep the League and on TikTok at Sweep the League TV. You want to do that ASAP. Everybody else, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Free and available where we get podcasts. Again, next week we're back to 5 a day. Well, 5 a week, actually. No, not 5 a day. Once every, 1 a day, 1 through Friday. We'll be back on that schedule. We have a very, very special guest from Monday. I'm going to leave it at that. Rudy knows who it is, but I'm not going to tell y'all. Y'all will have to be surprised on Monday. Looking forward to that and more. So, as always, subscribe to Locked On Spurs wherever you get your favorite podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Ken's 5 Plus app, and check out Locked On NBA on YouTube. Just search Locked On NBA, subscribe. That'll catch you up on all things NBA. So we'll see you next week right here on Locked On Spurs. So for Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.